Good morning, Kasturians, and welcome to video 1 of chapter 1 of geography, that is resources and development. In this video, we will see what does it mean to be a resource and different classification of resources. So let's start. Resource. Now, what is a resource? See, there are various materials which are available in our environment, in our surroundings. These can be both living or non-living, or you can say biotic and abiotic. With the help of available technique and by application of skill and knowledge, we the humans transform these materials and put them into multiple uses. Then such materials are termed as resource. So in all, we can say that any material or thing available in our surroundings which can be put to multiple uses with the help of available technique, skill and knowledge, which should be economically feasible and culturally acceptable to satisfy the needs or requirement of the people with the changing times is known as resource. Now resources, they are available in nature? No. The things or materials are available in nature. They get transformed into resources with the help of technology and skill and knowledge. All these three vital things, they are interrelated with each other, and you can say that technology, it creates institutions, and technology, it is in accordance with the environment or nature, and together these three accelerate the economic development and put the various available materials into multiple uses and then treat them as a resource. Now the resources are various available materials which are present in nature or in our surroundings. So it can be living or non-living. It can be owned by a person or it is owned by the community as a whole. So all these factors give rise to various classification of resources, and on the basis of such classifications the resources can be classified in different ways, which are: on the basis of origin, we classify the resources as biotic and abiotic. On the basis of their exhaustibility, that is whether they will last for a long time or they will come to an end very soon, they are known as, or they are termed as, renewable or non-renewable resources. Then on the basis of ownership, individual resources, community resources, national or international resources. And on the basis of development, as in the beginning we have discussed that technology is an important factor that determines a material to be treated as resource or not. So on the basis of available technology and the level of development or the achievement we have made so far in the to put the resource into use, the resources can be potential, developed, stock and reserves. So let's have a look at what does it mean to be these different terms. On the basis of origin, resources can be biotic resources or abiotic resources. Biotic, that is living. So the resources which are obtained from living organisms, or you can say the resources which are obtained from biosphere, are termed as biotic resources. In this we can include human beings, livestock, the plants and animals, that is flora and fauna, Then we have abiotic resources. Those resources which are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources, like the minerals, you can say, including metals and different types of rocks. These are all abiotic resources. On the basis of exhaustibility, we have renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, although this term, you people are very familiar to this term, it stands for the resources which can be replenished or renewed by physical, chemical or mechanical processes in nature, are known as renewable or replenishable resources. When these resources are put to use, their chemical nature or their form is not going to change, and they are also available in plenty in the environment. It includes solar energy, wind energy, water, forest and wildlife, etc. Then we have non-renewable resources. Just opposite to the renewable resources, these resources are not available in unlimited quantities in nature, that is, their quantity is limited. Also, these resources take a very long time period of, say, more than 2 to 3 centuries, that is geological time. In this, we can put minerals and fossil fuels as once used or once put to use, their chemical nature changes and they cannot be renewed by simple physical, chemical or mechanical processes. It takes a much longer time duration to get the various plants and animals converted into fossil fuels with the help of natural cycles or natural agents. So these are non-renewable resources. Although the non-renewable resources include metals which are recyclable and the fossil fuels which cannot be recycled. Now, the third categorization is on the basis of ownership. When we see ownership, so some resources are owned by individuals, some resources are owned by community, and when we talk about international community, so we can simply have nation or a single country or the entire world, that is national as well as international. So some resources, they belong to nation. Such resources are known as national resources. The country to which these resources belong, that has the legal power to acquire and even use that property for public goods. When we talk about international resources, there are some institutions which regulate these resources, like the oceanic resources. Also, we can have air, we can have the sky, the ozone. All these are the international resources. Now we have on the basis of the development. So this classification is totally dependent upon the available technique of putting the material into use as a resource. On this basis, we have potential resources. These are the resources which are found in a particular region, that is, they are localized resources, but they have not been put to full use or they have not been utilized up to their full potential. Also, some of the resources like solar energy, wind energy, which are already being harnessed in other parts of world, but in some particular places these are still not put to their optimum use, so such resources become potential resources for that particular or specific region. Then we have developed resources. These are the resources whose quality as well as quantity is determined, and according to the quality and quantity they can be put to use. The developed resources, they are dependent upon technology and the level of feasibility. According to that, the resources can be termed as developed. Then we have stock. The materials which are present in the environment, which can be a potential resource to satisfy human needs, but due to unavailable technology, or if technology is available, that is inappropriate. So due to lack of technology or lagging in technology, these resources have not been put to proper use, so these are included as stock. Like water. Water is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen, but we don't have technique to separate water into its two constituent gases. That's why we can say water is a stock. Now we have reserves. Reserves are the resources which are unavailable, but which we can be put them into use with the help of existing technology, but we have not started these resources to put them into use. Why? Because for future requirements we keep them as a reserve, or you can say we preserve these resources for future requirements. Such resources are known as reserves. That's all we have in this video. In the next video we will discuss about the sustainable development and resource planning. Thank you and have a nice day.